You're listening to Said Lovingly, the podcast for high-achieving single women, entrepreneurs, creators, and powerhouse professionals ready to call in good love without lowering your standards, sacrificing yourself, or chasing. I'm your host, Crystal, a lawyer turned love and relationship educator. I have helped hundreds of women go from single to happily coupled up with high-quality men who adore them through my signature frameworks and my unique approach to attracting love. I've become known for sharing straightforward and sometimes hard-to-hear truths. So please just remember, it's all said lovingly. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Said Lovingly. Crystal here. And I am going to pick up where I left off 2 weeks ago. I actually recorded this episode right after I recorded the first episode talking about the reasons that your love life, that dating is exhausting you. And then the Danish deception came up, and I just really wanted to address that because, as you know, things on the internet don't stay relevant for long, and I had so many thoughts to share. So we are going to continue right where we left off 2 weeks ago. If you have not had a chance to listen to that episode yet, you can go back to it. You don't have to go back to it now. You can start right here. You'll get the gist. You'll understand. But definitely return to that episode as well because it was a brilliant episode. So let's get right back to it. The next big reason that I want to talk about as to why you might be finding dating really exhausting is that you're telling stories that are based in lack and scarcity. And that you're then operating primarily from lack and scarcity when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your dating life. So here's what I mean by this. If you have a lot of stories that are related to love and relationships and dating that are based in lack, meaning they sound like it is rare for me to meet anyone I like. There are no good men left. All of the good men are already married. Most men are terrible. So there's just very few for me to choose from. If you have stories like that where they're sort of based around this idea that there is a lack, there's not enough love to go around, there's not enough men to go around, there's not enough good men to go around. When you're telling stories that are all coming from this place where it's like there is not enough, it is going to become very exhausting dating. It is going to feel very hard. It's going to feel like you're always going on this uphill climb. There's a couple of reasons. The first thing that happens is that when you meet someone that you do like, you can begin to over-identify them. You can start to identify them as the one. You can start to overlook things because it feels so rare. It makes much more space for you in your own mind to attribute qualities to them that may or may not exist. Meaning that because you feel like it's so rare that I like someone, it's so rare that I meet people that I like, you start to assume that you know more about the person in front of you than you actually do. Because you're attracted to them, because you feel a sense of chemistry, you might also think that they are a good person, that they're a kind person, that they are trustworthy, that they're loyal, that they're aligned with you in ways that they may or may not be. It's not to say that this person isn't aligned with you. Maybe they are, but you don't know yet. When you operate from lack and scarcity, this tends to be a place that we go right away. We right away start thinking we know so much more about this person in front of us than we actually do. And it causes a lot of issues. If you're dating and you think that you already know everything about someone, then you're not going to be gathering the information you need to be discerning, to choose if someone's a good partner, to notice red flags, to notice if deal breakers are coming up, right? You're going to be skipping over all of that in your own. You're going to start putting too much hope and too much stock into this person who is a stranger. Now, the other reason that this is very challenging and it's very exhausting is because if you are over-identifying them, because you're operating from this place of lack and scarcity, you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on yourself and on this other person for things to work. Because if you think it's rare that I meet people I like, there are so few good men, and then you do meet someone you like, it's like, I can't let him go. I got to make sure that this works out. It's a lot of pressure on you to not mess up. I'm putting this in air quotes, to not mess up, to not do something wrong, to not somehow be rejected by this person because it's so rare that you meet people you like. You're going to be walking on eggshells, or you're going to be acting in a way that you think is going to prevent rejection, in a way that you think is going to get this person to keep you around, essentially, because you don't want to risk it. You don't want to risk this person not wanting to be with you because you believe that it's rare to meet people you like, because you believe that good men are scarce. So it's putting a lot of pressure on you and on them. It's also putting a lot of pressure on them to fit into this idea that you already have in your mind about who they are and how they're going to show up and what the relationship between the two of you is going to be. none of this might be based in reality. This could mostly be in your mind, but you've got this idea because you're coming from this place of lack and scarcity. You've got this idea about how the relationship can be, about how they can be, about how you could be together. And now it's like you want this person to live up to it. And that's a big task. That's a big task and it's a big ask. And it may or may not be something they're even up for. Either way, it's not a good thing to go into a relationship with so many heavy expectations, with this need for it to work. When you're in a place of this has to work, I cannot let this person get away, it's almost inevitable that you're going to move into this place of scarcity and of desperation. You're going to overlook things. You're going to lower your standards because it feels like I have to make this work. Now, the other thing that is connected to this is that if you are operating from this place of scarcity, when you're operating from this place of scarcity and from lack, and you're thinking, I need to make it work with this person, on some level, you're making this person your source, meaning your source of well-being, your source of being okay, your source, your higher power, your higher knowing, your higher wisdom. You're making this person too much. That is too much for another person in your world to be. It's never going to be a good thing to be so dependent that another person is your source. It's too much pressure on another person. And you're going to be operating from this very low level, needy, desperate energy. The better approach, instead of making another person your source, your sense of well-being, your end all and be all, is to allow source to be your source and to focus on your vision and what it is that you actually want for yourself and what you want to create. When you can operate from that place, it is so much easier to see the abundance that is available, to recognize that there are more men available, that there are more opportunities available, that the truth is that all good men are not taken. When you can shift out of this mindset of lack and limitation and scarcity and start moving towards abundance and opportunity and things being available for you, the whole thing gets so much lighter and easier. If you're making one person your source, that means that you're putting a lot of focus and attention and energy into this person and into this relationship and buying into beliefs and stories that you will not be okay without them, that you will not be okay without this relationship. If the relationship ends, then it might feel like I'm not okay. This is when you can have like a total collapse where it's like your energy completely falls in on itself. You're just beyond devastated. You are only telling these stories of limitation that are really painful about yourself, right? That's like everything sort of collapses in and you feel ready to give up. And from that place, when you're out in the world dating, it's going to feel like you're starting over. It's going to feel like I was believing that this person was the one because I'm operating from lack and scarcity. And so I met this person that I liked and I put him all the way up here and I made him my source. And I started to believe that I wouldn't be okay without him. And I thought it had to be him. And I was doing everything I could to make it work with him. And I was putting that pressure on him. I was putting that pressure on myself. And yet, despite all of my hopes and my desires and my drive and my push and doing everything within my power to make it work, it didn't work. So it's been all the way up here and then it's like, oh, your energy is just going to fall all the way down. It's going to feel like you're going to be climbing back up a hill, hoping to meet someone again. If that is the way that you're operating, then of course, dating is exhausting. Dating's exhausting from there. Whereas if you're operating from a place of, I know who I am, I know what I'm worthy of, I know what I want, I know what I deserve, and I believe that I will have it. There is so much good available for me. I can't wait to see who I get to meet next. I love the experiences that I'm having. I love the way that I get to experience life right now as a woman who is dating and calling in her partner. When you're operating from that place and then you meet people that you like, it's not going to feel like, wow, this never happens. It's so rare that I meet someone I like. It's more like, another great person. I love that this person has come into my world, into my experience. Let me see what he's about. And then you can explore the relationship and learn about this person and determine, is this someone who's a good fit for me or is it not a good fit for me? And if it's not a good fit for me, what can I learn from this? And if it is a good fit for me, what do I still need to know to decide if I want to keep it moving forward? And then if the relationship ends for some reason, it's like, what am I taking from this? What am I taking from this going forward? How fun that I still get to meet people, right? You get to stay on this much more even playing field, this even level. It's not this, oh, I thought I found my one and the one and only that it could ever be. And now I'm collapsing. And now I have to try to start the search again, right? Where you're creating this roller coaster for yourself that's heavy and painful and just based in lack. It's just like, it's not really how things are. It's not the truth. Whereas when you can operate from this place of source is source, I know who I am and what I'm worthy of, and I can stay focused on my vision, you can just sort of keep moving. The whole thing is going to be so much lighter and so much easier.
It's also going to give the people that you meet so much more freedom and so much more space to be themselves, to actually get to know you, because you're not desperate for it to be them. You're like, maybe it's him, maybe it's not. I don't know. I got to gather information. He gets the chance to say like, oh, I think it could be me. Let me tell you more about me. Let me show you more about me. Let me prove to you that I am someone who's worth being in your life. Let me show you. Let me show you what I have. As opposed to being the opposite, where you're like, let me try to catch you. Let me try to keep you. Let me try to prove to you that you should choose me. This is one reason that dating will feel very exhausting, is because you're operating from this place of lack and scarcity and creating all these challenges within your own energy, the way that you express yourself, the way you move through the world and through your love life. When you can start moving into a place of abundance and understanding the possibilities that are available and looking for more abundance instead of just focusing on lack or scarcity or I can't have, the whole thing gets so much easier. So I will leave this here for now, and we'll continue in the next episode talking about one final reason that your dating life might feel exhausting and what you're going to do about it to make it more light, fun, flowy, and get you closer to what you want. So I hope this really served you well, and I will look forward to speaking to you again soon.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Said Lovingly. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And if we're not already connected, come join me over on Instagram. I'm at CrystalOnLove. Be sure to tag me when you're listening to the episodes and go ahead and send this to an incredible woman in your life who deserves the kind of love that we stand for here. I'm over here cheering for you, and remember, it's all said lovingly.